What glory.
Good evening, welcome to the Cricket Show. Another massive night ahead. We've got a big weekend from last weekend to cover. We had the junior rep finals as well as local junior semi-finals, so we got a lot to cover tonight. Joining me at the desk is not David Bogue. David's away with the Wide Bay Schoolboys team, so Luke Owen stepping in the shoes tonight. You're going to be right to fill the big shoes of David Bogue?
Yeah, look, David's away, so yeah, definitely big shoes to fill. But yeah, no, thanks for having me tonight. I look forward to it.
No, that's all right. As I said, we've got a fair bit to cover. We usually kick off the show the weekend highlight. There was plenty to cover from the weekend. Anything catch your eye in particular?
Yeah, look, obviously the junior rep finals were hosted in Bundaberg on the weekend, and it was fantastic to see, probably 3 really good games of cricket. But, my highlight for the weekend was Nick DeLacy in the under-14 grand final. He started with bat and ball. Nick took 4 for 33 with the ball and then batted really well and got 72 off 61 balls to really steer the side home. So, yeah, Nick was certainly one of my highlights for the weekend. Yeah,
no, he certainly was a great performance and was a good game of cricket. We'll talk about that a little bit in depth a little bit later on. Myself, probably more came from the same game. It was a great game of cricket, but Kalen Bard just fell short of 100 with 95 and scored nearly half the side's runs. But that was backing up after scoring 40 not out in a rain-shortened semi-final on Saturday to get Hervey Bay into a grand final. So they've sort of come from 4th position and they've got to won a few on the trot, and now they're in that under-14 grand final. And he got a couple of awards on the weekend. He won the under-14 Wide Bay Player of the Year as well as the inner city rep player. So we talk about him every week, but he's had a massive year and really stepped up as a player in general.
Yeah, fantastic young cricketer coming through Wide Bay cricket, and he's really getting the results of all his hard work. So it's fantastic to see.
Yep. No, so very good performances, and we'll touch on all that rep stuff later on. We'll kick off with the local senior games from the weekend, starting with Division 1. We had probably one game that was one-sided and then a last wicket thriller, you could nearly say.
It was the tale of two tapes, I suppose. Obviously North was still capable of making the final series. Obviously they had to sort of bat first and post a mammoth total and bowl Brothers out quite convincingly. And on the other side of the equation, they really needed Waves to beat East pretty convincingly as well. And Norths were bowled out for 89. With Dean Krebs 4 for 11 and Sam Pearson really starting to hit his straps, I think, after a couple of years of, a few injury setbacks and that, and took 3 for 7 as well. And in reply, Brothers peeled him off pretty quick. They were 2 for 90 with Arden Lankowski opening the batting with Luke Solano and scoring 46, and Mitchie Parsons with a tidy little 20 not out.
Yeah, so that was said that North would be disappointed to go from premiers to being bottom placed. Sure they'll have a bit of soul searching to do throughout the off season, and we'll come back better and stronger. And they're too proud of a club to stay down for long. The success they've had in the last
definitely
5 to 6 years, you'd say.
The positive I think they can take out of it is that they were probably a younger side this season. They blooded Aidan White. He played a lot of senior cricket this year. Ned Jenner. They had
Jordan Mather played a
Jordan
few
Mather, as well. Matty Parker as well. So, getting gains under the belt, of those sorts of players, combined with maybe Blight and Pendergrass coming back next year after a year off with injury, and they'll certainly come back stronger for it, definitely.
Yep. So, Brothers were guaranteed second, but they'll go in pretty confident into a semi-final this weekend against East with a very convincing 8-wicket win, you could say. And the other game that we both participated in, day-night game, East batted first, 7 for 205. Eric Peterson with 57 and Trent Seeds with a quick-fire 31 and hit a few sixes, and Dave Bonza with a very patient 30. And Matty Posibon 3 for 39 and Mitch Waters 3 for 55. And I think we've talked about Matt, David and I most weeks, but he's had a really good year, Matty Pos, hasn't he? He's been probably one of our pick of our bowlers week in, week out, and second in the leading wicket takers for the comp.
Yeah, I think he finished with 27 wickets for the year, which, Matty had, I think, 3 weeks off there where he went on tour to Fiji as well. So, Matty's getting the rewards, I suppose, of probably a little bit of one-on-one coaching he got last year from Keith Ballon at the club. Just learning the bowl a few outies and a bit of wrist position work. But in all seriousness, Matty's bowled really well for us this year, whether he's had the new rock or he's come in first change. And, he's taken some big scalps too. He's not just, doing a Chris Duff and cleaning up the tail or anything like that. So, it's good to see him taking those wickets for us. And, obviously Mitchie took those 3 wickets as well, but Trent Seeds took a bit of a liking to his bowling there on the weekend, and it was a good battle to watch. And they 7 for 205. We thought was gettable, and obviously batting second under lights, it's certainly never easy in that sort of twilight period. But yeah, it turned out to be a really good game of cricket. You had to put the pads on yourself, mate, for a change, which is something different for you. And,
so in return, as I said, 1 wicket in the sheds, 9 for 207. Ryan Norton was 68 and yourself with 32. But just for Ryan to get a bit of time in the crease leading into a final, he probably admits himself he's been a bit short of runs so far this year. So to get some good time in the middle,
best thing for him. He admits himself he's probably struggled. He's a guy that can turn the game pretty quickly when he's out there batting. So for Nordo to hang around and bat some time and score some important runs, I suppose, for the team as well on the weekend was really good for us, coming into a grand final. And he happened to get on to one massive 6 too. So that was one of the biggest sixes I've seen.
I don't know if it was it as big as his one in Mergen? You were at both. Which would you say was bigger?
I think the one Saturday night was bigger. It's cleared the grandstand. It didn't hit the grandstand at all. It cleared it and kept going. So no, it was that was certainly a big hit. He got onto that.
So yeah, as we said, East will play Brothers in the semi-final this weekend. So we'll have a bit of a chat on that game later on.
Yep.
Division 2, Norse 178. Julian Bond 53 not out. Carried his bat for the innings. Just took his time. John Bowen with 28, and for brothers, Jason Hack 3 for 27, Nick Clark 2 for 19, and Harry Johnson 2 for 54. But they were defeated by brothers 149. Defeated brothers, 149. Dustin Collin 25, Nick Clark with 24. And this is going to pain me to say it. Sean Rose with 5 for 46.
He gets good batsmen out. I think he got me out this year, so I can't say too much. But
well done to Rosie. Yeah. So 5 for 40. Damien O'Neill 2 for 27 and Sean Penny 2 for 32. Sean Rose 5 wickets. Wow. In the other game, ATW 8 for 177. Cole Stalin a 70. Jack Munro 21. Artie Richardson in the wickets again with 3 for 35. And they defeated ATW 8 for 178. Laurie McCloskey 44 not out. Rod Jensen 37. Will Barrett 28. And for Across the Waves, Josh Wormington 2 for 25. Brody Coates 2 for 26. And Sam Stutchbury 2 for 38. So Waves would probably be disappointed about that loss. They were 8 for about 130 or 140. And Laurie and Graham Werner.
Fantastic partnership.
Got them home.
I had a quick look on my cricket, obviously in between our game, between innings, and when they were 8 for 130, I think I worked out they needed 32 off about 7 overs and only had the 2 wickets in hand. But, Laurie obviously showed a lot of experience there to steer the ship home and get him to the score. And, Wave certainly had a lot of wickets in hand too. I know Ryan McLean and Kyle were batting for a long time together, and probably weren't scoring that quick. I think that bit of rain that they had that little 10-minute break with a pretty heavy shower that come through there, and probably made the wicket a little bit harder to bat on and a little bit more skiddy and that. But that they will be disappointed, but well done to East, because that win propelled them into second place on the ladder and jumped brothers.
The bottom 2 teams defeating the top 2 teams. They all finished on the second, third and fourth finished on 54 points, and it came down to net run rate. and East having a superior net run rate of -0.3 over Brothers -0.15 and North -0.16. So you add that up over a season, and that's not a lot. So yeah, very tight, and as we said, any of those teams could probably take out that competition, and it'll be a very hotly contested semi-final this week between East and Brothers.
Yeah, it's been very close all year between the four sides. No one's probably stood out more so over the others, and it just shows that you got to be performing on the day, and you got to perform all the way to the 40th over. Otherwise, you could get beaten. To have, in the first game, it was very close there all day. There was plenty of shouts and plenty of noise coming across from field 2 there, and then obviously Laurie and the guys, batting very deep as well and getting them home. So. Yep. It'll be fantastic to watch this weekend to see who gets up in that preliminary semi-final and to play Waves the week after.
Yep. All right, well, we'll cover that game later on. And the Division 3 boys, they had a T10 bit of a social day. We unfortunately had YMCA pull out on Friday, but 4 teams, everyone played each other, and the reports that I got that it was pretty good day, very good social day. A few beverages were had, and the word on the street is that Nick Catasti was the player of the tournament, self-appointed.
Self-proclaimed player of the tournament.
So,
yep. Seen a few videos of Nicholas's highlights with the bat, and electric is the word that's been thrown around a bit. But yeah, look, I think he said he got 7 or 8 wickets for the couple of games and a 30-odd with the bat, which is probably his. It's probably the most runs he scored across his whole career, to be honest. So.
And he reckons he might be looking for a gig in the Abu Dhabi T10 next year after his performance. But no, it was a bit of fun, and I don't know whether that's something the BCA may look towards in the future, adding a few things like that in, and just to mix up a bit of cricket. So. Yeah,
I think it's a great concept that the BCA could look at, just to have that sort of a weekend to break up the 35 over stuff, especially that the Division 3 are playing, but it might be something even the higher grades. I think it'd be pretty exciting to see some of the club teams in Division 1 and 2 even playing the concept and playing 2 or 3 games in an afternoon, and playing for a little trophy or some prize money or something, and make it a big day, a big carnival. Could be a festival of cricket, I suppose.
So that wraps up the senior stuff from the weekend. We better have a quick talk on the boys that have been away while David's away. Wide Bay have been down at Sunshine Coast at the Open Schoolboys competition. They finished 8th out of 10 teams. They probably maybe a little bit disappointed. I thought they had a pretty good squad and they might have finished a little bit higher than that. They had 2 wins and 4 losses. They had a tough loss today to Met West by 11 runs. So to be within 11 runs of one of the Met sides is pretty good.
It's pretty good, yeah.
From the reports I've heard that Jaden Santa Catarina and Lockie Haycox have bowled really well over the week. And in one of the T20 games on Sunday, Harry Sipple took 7 for 5 in a T20, and they defended 80 against Capricornia. So.
That's fantastic figures for an off spinner, especially in T20 cricket, where usually batsmen are trying to go after those slower bowlers as well. So he's obviously bowled very well to take those figures in any game, let alone 2020.
And to defend 80 is pretty good going in a T20 game. So I'm sure we'll get a little bit more on that when David's back at the desk with us next week. So well done to those boys for going away. And I'm not sure whether anyone made state selection, but I'm sure we'll.
No, I haven't heard yet, but no doubt Simon Gills will probably pass on the odd text and then inform us all who's possibly made that side.
Yep. All right, well, we're going to go to a break. After the break, we've got to cover all the junior semi-finals from Saturday.
Time out! You are busy, but your foot pain is slowing you down. The experienced team at Hinkler Podiatry are passionate, outcome-driven, and use the latest treatments to get you back on your feet fast. Call Time Out on your foot pain with Hinkler Podiatry.
Your local Better are your appliance specialists. With everything from fridges and laundry to TV, small appliances and much more. Plus, with a range of payment options available, you can buy now and pay later. Go local, that's better.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We had a very interesting junior semi-final morning. A few tight games and a couple of one-sided ones. to cover all that, let's get into it. The under-16s. Start with your guys. Probably a little bit disappointing. Brothers 9 for 154. Toby Lamond with 58. Riley Gibbs with 21. Julie Munro 4 for 30, and Sam Stutcher with 2 for 29 for Across the Waves. But 53, Luke.
Yeah, 53. We certainly saved our worst performance with the bat for Saturday morning. Brothers, I think they played the complete game. Toby batted really well to get that 58. I still thought that 154 was probably par if we batted really well and capitalised on putting away the bad ball. But Riley Collin at the top with the ball, 2 for 14, really come in bowl with some serious pace on a wicket that had a little bit of bounce from his end. And we sort of lost a lot of early wickets and sort of couldn't recuperate after that. Couldn't get back in the game and was all out for 53. But Henry Hurst bowled really well too, took 2 for 1, and I think every other bowler then took a wicket. So, well done to Brothers. They end up finishing third, which come down to the last round playing against us in a tight game, and they get to take on YMCA Isis in the grand final this weekend.
Yeah, well, they had a narrow win over Maryborough. I had a look. YMCA Ice was 118, and I sort of thought, Catherine White top scored with 21, but the rest of the River didn't get too many, Lockie Haycock didn't get too many, and I thought, 118, Maryborough might be a show here. Young Cordy from Maryborough with 3 for 11, and Nick Gaines 3 for 19, and Nick Dillett-Jones with 3 for 31. But Maryborough 111, with Nick backing up his 3 wickets with 32, and Grace Collins with 22, and River Felstead 3 for 18, Cooper Raybourne 3 for 21, and Bailey Fagel 2 for 15. Getting him home, so...
Very tight game. We finished early, so we ducked across and watched the back end of this game, and I think they needed 12 with the last wicket, and they hit a boundary, and Bailey Fag held his cool and took the last wicket and ended up getting YMCA Isis home. But, obviously the spin twins of River and Cooper did the damage there with 5 wickets between them, and it was really pleasing to see that in that game, I think there was, a lot of contributions across a lot of players, which was really good. And it's going to be...
And didn't rely on the big guns, really.
Yeah, well, Aidan White, he wasn't in the runs either. He got out caught and bowled as well, and obviously Lockie Haycox as well. So it sets up a bit of a mouth-watering final between Brothers and YMCA this weekend. And YMCA were obviously the clear side all year up at the top, but... I think Brothers on their day could definitely beat them. So it'll be best of luck to both teams.
Yeah, well, we'll have a bit more of an in-depth look at that game later in the preview. Under 14, the North Bundy Bears 6 for 167. Tom Elphinstone 35. Lachlan McDonald 25. Young Murray for Across the Waves the 2 for 22. And Nick DeLacy 2 for 25. But in return, ATW 112. Tully Dorgan top scoring with 27. Nick DeLacy 24. And Lachlan McDonald with 4 for 6.
4 for 6,
backing up his 25. And Samson Juster with 2 for 10. So we had Alex in last week. He was quietly confident, but just North too strong there. With a lot of those older boys. A bit more experienced cricketers.
Yeah, we got a pretty young under 14 side. I know we had sort of 3 under 12s, making the step up for us to help the side out with a couple missing through injury and other sporting commitments as such. But that North side's been the benchmark team all year. Obviously, Tommy Elphinstone's had a massive year, and our 14s they had to basically win last game and hope Maryborough didn't win to make the final. So for them to make the semis was a massive achievement for those kids. And it was really pleasing to see Tully Dorgan get some runs there. He's just made the state under 15 hockey side, and he's showing that he's his cricket prowess is there too with some runs. And Lockie McDonald 4 for 6. Wow, he bowled really well.
Yeah, and the other game, North Power travelled down to Harvey Bay. North Power batted first 4 for 116. Jacob Irwin top scoring with 25. Rory Folker with 2 for 25. And Harvey Bay 3 for 106. Kalen Barr 40 not out. They got a big heavy shower of rain with 5 overs to go. So Harvey Bay won there on Duckworth Lewis, with obviously only needing 11 to win with 5 overs. So
plenty of wickets in the shed, and obviously Caelan's still out in the middle as well. You know, he's had a fantastic year, like you said before. You touched on him probably every week, but you know, he keeps producing when his team needs him. So you know, Harvey Bay taking on the heavyweights at Norths this weekend.
That'll be another good
good
game.
final. Yeah, yep.
And the stage 2 under 12s, North's Avengers 4 for 207. Thomas Dwyer with 37, Ryan Ballon with 35, Olivia Abel with 31, and Elle Wingfield for Isis 3 for 34. But in return, Isis could only manage 86 with Caden Muggeridge 37, and Lockie Rogers doing the damage with 3 for 5, and Thomas Dwyer backing up his runs with 2 for 24. So a good win there for North's Avengers. Lockie Rogers said to me on Saturday that he was back in the wickets and he wanted to mention again. So,
A little
he had
shout out,
he had a
plug for
week
him.
off. He didn't do any good the week before, but he was back this week.
No,
so.
good figures. Well done, Lockie.
And the last game, North Strikers 8 for 143, C Muskie with 39, Tyson Moline with 3 for 11, and Noah Bijou Alex with 2 for 14, and they defeated YMCA East 5 for 130, Atlas Felsted 29, and Tyson Moline with 23, and Leighton McDonald this time with 2 for 14. So North will take on North there in the final. Probably been the best 2 teams all year, so well done to those guys, and I'm sure that'll be a very hotly contested grand final. I think Avengers got the chocolates in the last round, so.
So the Strikers will be trying to go one up on them here. So, no, best of luck to both teams on Saturday.
Yeah, it'll be a good day, good morning of cricket down there for the junior finals, and I hope the weather stays clear. So, we've got it back, Luke. We've got a Bulls Masterclass segment. We haven't done one for a few weeks. This one's all about batsman setup. As a batsman yourself, I'm sure you could maybe take something out of this.
Yeah,
So let's
definitely.
have a look with Peter Drennan and Andrew Goad, thanks to the Bulls Masters.
Hello, Peter Drennan here with Andrew Goad on behalf of the Bulls Masters and PD Cricket. The fundamentals within the game of cricket are so important, so sit back and learn as myself and Andrew take you through 7 shots that are so important to any batsman within the game.
The basic fundamentals of a good batsman's setup.
Feet about shoulder width apart. Okay, nice and comfortable. Slight amount of flexion in the knees. Key is the head and eyes need to be level. Okay, really important. Has to be a comfortable stance, and the weight, which is your head, has to be in the center of the stance. So there's no weight transferring either to the offside or onside. So quite a neutral stance with the head in the center of the stance. The grip, you've got 2 V's that run down the back of the bat. Okay, again, creating a neutral grip. The top hand will be the one that holds quite firmly. The bottom hand is a relaxed grip that runs along the handle. Okay, and there's very little of the actual palm that's on the handle. Okay, the bottom hand is used in shots, there's no doubt about that. But for your standard grip, it's a top hand dominant grip, quite a relaxed bottom hand grip. Now, when you're holding the bat, the hands stay quite close to the body, and the bat toes towards around between off stump and first slip with a slightly open blade, and that makes up a very, very sound and comfortable stance for the batsman to work from. Now, I just want to talk about the crease. When you're arriving at the crease for young batsmen, you'll be presented with the crease line. I believe for young players to position the white line, the crease line between their feet. Okay, obviously as you get more advanced and comfortable with your game, with the understanding of the game, that you can move deeper into the crease for certain circumstances, or you can come out and bat outside your crease if you need to. As I said, there's circumstances such as breaking up a bowler's length and things like that will determine the stance, but let's keep it simple. Now, when you arrive at the crease, important that you also ask for guard. Okay, you ask the umpire, sir, is this middle? Which is a great starting point. From there, you mark that, so you are very, very aware of where your stumps are. That's crucial, and particularly, batsmen need to know where their off stump is. So by taking a guard of middle, you'll be very, very aware of where those stumps are. So there we have it. We've got the good, comfortable, relaxed setup key being the eyes level, bat tying towards between off stump and first slip, and we're ready here to receive the ball from the bowler. Really important also to have good routines. So this setup you will go into with every ball that you receive from the bowler. Really important. And you'll see all the batsmen on TV, if you watch them, they'll all have these really good, consistent routines that they go through, which enables them to come back in and focus sharply for that ball that they're just about to receive. Really important. That time in between deliveries, they're relaxed, but then they come back in, go through their routine, which involves this good setup one we've been talking about, okay, and getting them set to focus on that next delivery.
Okay, time to cover the Sunday rep games. Bundaberg hosted the finals of the Inner City Rep competition. Bundaberg took on South Burnett in the 16s and Fraser Coast in the 14s and 12s, and Bundy managed to come away with two wins, and congratulations to the Fraser Coast 12s on their win. So the under 16 game, South Burnett batted first, could only manage 113, batted for nearly 40 overs. Josh Fairby top scored with 24 and Lachlan Cullen with 20. And Cooper Rayborn, 3 for 18 off 7 overs. Riley Collin, 2 for 18 off 10. And Sam Stutchbury, 2 for 18 off 10. So some very tight bowling there. And in return, Bundy, 4 for 115. Toby Lamont top scoring with 39. Jordan Mather with 38. And Jackson Kirko with 2 for 15, and Thomas Town for 1 for 14 off 7. Bowled very tight, but Bundaberg chasing that score down with 21 overs to spare, and I think just too good of a side at the end of the day, aren't they?
Yeah, they're a very good side, that Bundy under 16s. A lot of experience in their top age kids in the 16s and also in that 15s as well. That pretty well the whole side's played wide bay cricket, I think, this year. So. Toby Lamont in amongst the runs again. He had a fantastic under 16s wide bay carnival this year up in Cairns, and obviously Cooper Rayborn, he's just got the Midas touch with the ball at the moment. So a very good convincing win for the team.
Yeah, and Toby was adjudged the player of the match by the umpires. So
yeah, well, definitely well deserved.
Yeah, but South Burnett, full credit to them. They had their side as majority under 15 boys. I think Josh Fairby's about the only one who might be under 16, so they'll have a very strong side next year. But Bundaberg, as you said, with those core group of 15s and some of those under 14 boys that'll be coming up, they'll have a pretty red hot side as well. So should be a good competition next year. But well done to the Bundy 16s, undefeated for the whole 7 games. So.
Yeah, fantastic achievement, especially travelling as well, and then obviously you still got to win a grand final, and they
missed a few of those boys with tabs before.
They did,
Christmas
Sam Stutchbury,
well.
Lockie Haycox, Toby obviously as well. So it takes a squad effort to win a cricket game, especially when you're playing across 7 games, and 3 of them are obviously playing away. So congratulations to the whole squad and coach Sean Pinney as well.
Yep. Under 14, Fraser Coast, 10 for 204. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Kalen Barr with 95, Lucas Lorigan with 22, Nick DeLacy 4 for 33, but Travis Kaepernick 3 for 22, bowled really well, and Charlie Steele 2 for 43. And they were defeated by Bundy 7 for 208. Nick DeLacy 72 off 61. Alex Dutchbury 45. Corin Driver 27. And Tom Elphinstone with 20 not out to get him home at the end when things were just starting to get a little bit tense.
Couple of wickets there.
They lost a few wickets through the middle, and Tom and Tom and Tom.
Yeah, it was Tom and Tom at the end.
The last dozen to 15 runs, and
Tom
just
DeLacy.
another couple of wickets there, and it might have been a different game. But Rory Falker with 2 for 40, Toby Brewer also 2 for 40, and Liam Fitzpatrick 2 for 52. So
yeah, fantastic game of cricket. Obviously Fraser Coast batted first, and Kalen Barr, obviously we keep talking about him tonight, but 95 runs. Unlucky not to get his 100. He certainly deserved it and batted very well from all reports. Nick bowled fantastic again.
Yeah, Nick got a couple of wickets early, not long after I got out there. After Fraser Coast got a bit of a start and they were about none for 40, he come on first change and got a couple of early, and just sort of changed that momentum of the game back in Bundy's favour. But yeah, it was a game that was sort of ebbed and flowed, and in Bundy's chase they were a few wickets early, and then Nick and Alex put on that great partnership. So yeah, well done to the Bundy boys. After Fraser Coast had won both the round games, but Bogey called it that the tide was going to turn. So
fantastic win by the team, and coach Robert Rasmussen Bailey, and Sean Stutchbury was the manager, and
Andrew Donison,
he did
was the manager before Christmas as well. So they had 14 overs to spare. So great win. And the under-12s was probably the match of the day.
It was.
They had a fair crowd watching at the end, didn't they?
Yeah, well, it went down to the wire, and it was certainly a game that ebbed and flow. I think Fraser Coast certainly had Bundaberg probably on the ropes, because the matches played in the quarters, in the 25 overs allotments, and Bundy, I think they were 6-7 down. I think it was for
it's about 6 for 85 they were after the
first quarter, and I know Fraser Coast were about 2 for. For I think they were 8 down, Fraser Coast, towards the back end of that game, and end up getting the win. So
yeah, well, Bundy 185, Tillman with 48, not out. James Cronin 23, Riley Marie with 3 for 26 for Fraser Coast. Hudson Govers 2 for 7, and Will Sanders with 2 for 10. But they were chased down 8 for 189. I think it was the last over. There might have been 2 overs to
2 to spare, I think it was.
2 to spare, and Will Sanders with 47 off 75 balls retired. Lachlan Purnell was the match winner and also received man of the match with 46 not out off 35, and Hudson Govers chipping in with 28. Tyson Moline with 3 for... Now, there's for figures. Look, I'd be happy with this end of the week. 8 overs, 6 maidens, 3 for 10.
Fantastic figures.
That's
building pressure from one end, isn't it?
And James Cronin with 2 for 27. But Fraser Coast needed about 5 and over for the last 15 overs, and as you know, in under 12 cricket, that can be a bit of a big ask. And Lachlan Purnell with 46 really just hit the ball. And
tremendous game of cricket. It's good to see that competition at such a young age, and congratulations to Fraser Coast. It's fantastic to see. They had 2 junior sides in the finals there this year, and they're starting to build some good, solid junior numbers down there again, which will be really pleasing for Wide Bay cricket moving forward.
Yeah, and a few good people doing some good things down there with Luke Fitzpatrick and Paul Sanders and Trevor Parry and a few blokes like that. So I know a few of those guys do tune in, so well done to you guys.
Yeah,
and
keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah. So at the conclusion of the games, there was a presentation. There was a Wide Bay representative players of the years were named. So in under 12s was Will Sanders, Byron Craftsman won the under 13s, Kalen Barr obviously won the under 14s. He had a great QJC championships. Thomas Town was named the under 15 Wide Bay Player of the Year, and Toby Lamond was named the Wide Bay Junior Cricketer of the Year.
Fantastic. Yeah.
As you said, he had a great Bulls Masters competition up in Cairns before Christmas, and had a really good TAB season and sort of stamped his authority. And at the start, he was out of that side, and then through bulk runs and getting an opportunity, took his spot, and I think ended up batting 3 in the last few games.
He did, yes, he did, through hard work and perseverance. So congratulations to Toby and those award winners. They are quite prestigious awards, and obviously go back before us, Reece, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, that Wide Bay, you go through some of the names that are on that trophy. There's Beth Mooney and Courtney Sipple and Holly Furling, a few of the
Sean A. Church.
Well, Sean A. Church, but also Nathan Horitz has won it.
Yep.
Wide Bay has produced a lot of very good cricketers that have made it onto the national and international stage. So, well done to Toby. And, the Inner City Rep Players of the Year from the 7 games. Tillman Newalt was from Bundaberg, won the under 12s. Kalen Barr won the under 14s, and Thomas Town from South Burnett won the under 16. He took about 14 or 15 wickets in 5 or 6 games. So well done to those guys as well. It was a great competition, and as we mentioned on the weekend, thanks to all the parents, there's a lot of travel involved.
A lot of travel, yep. It's fantastic to see. Obviously, Reece, you're pretty heavily involved in this competition the last 2 years. I think it's great for the development of our younger players being able to play at that higher level and develop their cricketing skills, and I think Wide Bay is going to benefit at the underage state titles moving forward from that, and obviously with these players and taking that back to clubland as well. So, mate, keep up the good work.
Yeah,
with
well,
that
it's especially
stuff.
just the more 50 over cricket and longer cricket we can get into these kids, the better it is. They obviously only play 30 overs of a Saturday morning, and just as you see, there's some of these kids getting a chance to face 60, 70, 80, 100 balls that they don't get that chance to do, and they're only going to get better from it. So.
Yeah, no, fantastic.
Yes, all right, well, it's time to have a bit of fun, Luke. We haven't done this for a couple of weeks, the old 60 seconds with Grillsy.
Oof.
You've been avoiding me like the plague, but I'm finally going to nail you. So if we go to
I'm
the
nervous.
stinger, I'd be nervous too. No, it'll be all good. So.
Can you survive the 60 seconds with Grillsy?
All right, here we go.
Should be 60 minutes for Grillsy.
Well, we shouldn't. I don't know why we call it 60 seconds. We usually go for about 3 or 4 minutes. But anyway, right, you played a lot of cricket in a lot of different places. Obviously here in Bundaberg, you had a run down at in Victoria.
Yep.
Of all the cricketing games you've played, have you got a favourite cricketing moment?
I'd have to say playing first grade cricket with my dad Hayden. There's a lot of people that get to play with their parents, playing Division 3 and things like that. But to play Division 1 cricket with my old man, I think he was 51 at the time, and he actually opened the batting that day. And that was pretty special for me, being able to do that. I think that's probably one of them. Yeah.
Yep. You were the leading run scorer in Division 1 cricket this season at 36. What do you think that success has come from?
Look, I think just trying to play a team role more than anything. The boys have sort of been into me the last couple of years. I probably haven't performed as well as my expectations certainly are, but I just think just working hard in the nets. You see guys go in there and trying to belt the cover off the ball in the nets, and I think just trying to work on your own little things in the nets. Like, I'm not the biggest hitter, but I just try to time the ball and hit it along the ground, and just work on those little things. And I suppose just having a captain that backs you as well, Chris Duff. He sort of asked me to play a role up the top of the order this year, and I've really enjoyed it, to be honest.
Yep. The best person you've played with on or off the field?
Yeah, I've been pretty fortunate. Obviously I've been able to play, up here in Bundy a lot, and obviously in Victoria. Brad Knowles played state cricket for WA in Victoria. Lee Stockdale, he's a current Victorian country captain and played for Australian country. Brendan Prosliner, obviously one of our good mates. Still one of the most naturally gifted sportsmen I think I've ever played any sport with. Yep. Them three, and then you got your, obviously Bogey, I hate to say it, but Bogey's certainly up there as well in terms of competitiveness and not necessarily being the most technically gifted or most talented person, but just from a competitive nature, he's certainly up there as well. But we've been pretty blessed across the waves over a number of years. You could throw Chris Johnson and
Yep.
Kane Konofsky in there as well. So.
Plenty of guys. Away from cricket, what keeps you busy in your spare time?
Work. Work at Opal. If anyone needs any boxes, give me a call. Definitely work. Obviously being club president at Waves certainly keeps me nice and busy, and coaching as well. Try to give back to the club and to the kids, because obviously I was an 8-year-old getting coached by Ross Summerfeld and Alf Burks and these sorts of people, and you sort of see what they've done for the club and cricket around Bundaberg in general, and you just sort of want to give a bit of that back. So
Yep.
certainly work, bit of that, and just a bit of golf when I can.
Yep. You touched on it there, but you've been president of Waves now for 2 seasons. How have you found it?
Yeah, look, I enjoy it. We're very lucky at Waves. We've probably got a really good volunteer base and a great committee as well. And obviously off the back of you for 10 years, mate, in the hot seat. but having the sports club there as well, Brendan Royal and the team there, and are very supportive of what we want to achieve as a cricket club and that as well. And we've got some exciting things that are just about to commence with a new net facility as well. So, it's just great to be able to provide a good platform for the kids around to play some good cricket and have some fun while they're at it, and obviously to support our senior teams as best as we can as well.
Yep. All right. In the kitchen, what's your go-to dish?
Oh, well, I cook most at the house at home. Chelsea's the first to admit she's certainly not Manu in the kitchen. But my probably go-tos are a bit of rump steak and veggies, or probably spaghetti bolognese. I think I love my Italian, so that'd be my go-tos.
Right, I'll pinch this question off Bogey because he asked me the other week.
Yep.
What's one thing that you can't live without?
Geez, that's a toughie. If I didn't say the missus, that'd probably get me in trouble, wouldn't it? No, the one thing I probably couldn't live without. That is tough. I think sport in general.
Yep.
I just love all my sport.
Being with your mates.
Yeah, being with my mates.
Yep. Right, the last one that we've asked everybody, if you could invite 3 people to have dinner with, dead or alive, who would they be?
Dead or alive, I would say Shane Warne's probably one. Off the back of obviously what he achieved on the cricket field, but obviously the character that he is and that as well. Nelson Mandela would be one for me. And the other one would be Steve Waugh. I just love Steve Waugh. I think he's Australia's greatest cricketer that's played. And just to pick his brain from a cricketing point of view, and I'd like to see him and Warnie at dinner together too.
Yeah, I was going to say, might be a bit of a cold dinner. You might have to.
Yeah, but they'd probably be my 3, I think. Yeah.
No, righto, all good. We're going. Thanks for spending 60 seconds with the
No
girls.
worries. Finally got me. Yeah.
Yes. All right, we're going to head to another break. After the break, we've got a full weekend preview coming up.
There's one name across our region that's synonymous with all things hospitality, Rum City Foods. And with more than 50 staff and 4,500 square metres under one roof, Rum City Foods stocks everything. They've got the lot. Paul's Milk, frozen products, packaged foods, dairy, bakery, drinks, chemicals, and all the hospitality packaging you need. Rum City Foods are a proud member of Countrywide Australasia. Find them at rumcityfoods.com.au or at their massive new premises on Commercial Street, Bundaberg.
All right, welcome back to the show. Okay, it's time to preview the weekend. Semi-final time for the seniors, grand final day for the juniors, all kicking off at 9 o'clock down at Kendall's Flats.
8 o'clock, mate.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yep.
It is 8 o'clock.
Yep.
So the under-16s, as we said, YMCA ISIS against Brothers. You would think YMCA, but grand finals are a funny thing. Can you see Brothers pulling one out of the fire here?
I can actually. I can see Brothers knocking Wysis, as they've been called. Cooper Raybine informs me. I can see Brothers winning, but I think the experience of Lockie Haycox, Aidan White, Cooper, as we've mentioned, River Felsted, who's played a lot of Division 1 cricket with East this year as well. I think they just might have the strike power to get the job done on the weekend.
Yeah, probably Brothers probably need Toby Lamond to get a score again.
Yeah,
Riley Collin to take some wickets. But as we said, grand finals are a funny thing, so anything could sort of happen there. The under-14s, North Bundy Bears versus Harvey Bay. I see this game as 50-50. I think you could make a case for each team to win. They've both got fair bit of firepower.
Bit of strike power, both sides, yeah. Well, obviously, Kalen Barr, as we keep mentioning, Tom Elphinstone, on the north side as well. But I'm with you. I'm sitting on the fence on that one. I would really love for just a really tight game there to get the crowd going. Yeah, and the Stage 2 under-12s, we said the North Avengers will take on North Strikers. So
Avengers finished top of the ladder, so they'll be
Did North Strikers finish second or third?
second.
Second,
Yeah,
so
they
1v2.
finished 1 and 2, so
Yep.
should be a good game. Sure, the usual suspects. Ryan Bowen, Lockie Rogers, Olivia Bell's been.
Yeah.
She's done very well this year. So best of luck to those sides, and great to see Norths there having 3 sides in the finals. Well done to those guys. They've got a very strong junior base. So we said they're starting to blood a few guys. So if they can hang around for five or 6 years, or hopefully some of these
Yeah,
guys will
hope
come
on flow
through.
into the seniors. Yeah, it's fantastic effort. I know Gail Pym did a lot of work, obviously in her time down there as junior coordinator at Norths, and it's fantastic to see that they've got 3 sides in there, and they're very supportive club. So I think they'll get a good crowd between both of those games down there.
Yep, and also it's the last week for the Stage 1 guys. They'll kick off early on Saturday morning as well. The Master Blasters have got their last game Thursday night
as well. Yeah,
and the Junior Blasters last week is on Friday as well. So there's been huge numbers around that space across the board, especially in the Master Blasters and Stage 1s.
Yeah, it's a fantastic concept having it, at Salter Oval on the lights, and it's really good to see some of the senior players at clubs as well looking after teams out there, and I know Brett Muller's obviously organised a bit of a break-up and presentation for the kids after their game there Thursday as well. So.
Yep. All right, senior semi-finals. Division 1 kicking off at 2 o'clock. Day-night game under lights. It's, Brothers and East. Can you make a case for East?
I can. Yeah, I can. I think this might be closer than probably what people might think. There's some firepower in that East side that can certainly be match winners on the day. We saw it in Trent Seeds on the weekend, with the bat. If he comes out in a bit of a mood to move the game along quite quickly, I think, he could be a bit of a difference maker there. Eric Peterson all year, he's batted pretty low all year, but, East might throw him up higher a bit more in the order. Lennon Childs might be a bit of a loss though. Obviously picked up a bit of a knee injury whilst batting on the weekend. So
you would think River Felstead would come in for him.
River would come back into the side. Lockie Donovan was the leading wicket taker in Division 1 this year. I think if the guy I think that might be the match winner for him could be Dale Steele. Probably hasn't had the year that we probably all expect from Dale, where he sort of lights it up a bit with the bat more so than anything. But I think as skipper of the side, if he gets East up and about early and they get some early wickets with Roy Heath, and they could put some pressure on Brothers' side. But it's hard to go past the Brethren as well, because they've been there and abouts obviously with Waves all year, and they've been well led by Mitchie Parsons, who's obviously had a great year with the bat as well, and Arden coming into some form and getting some overs under the belt as well.
Yeah, I think their bowling's probably a little bit stronger with Jeremy and Sam and Dean Krebs.
Yep.
Arden, so
Chris Carroll's the forgotten man probably in all of it, and he's probably nearly taken. He'd be up there in the wickets for them as well.
So, as you said, they've only got to get a few key wickets, so it should be a good game. And
it'd be great to get out there and watch it as a day nighter too, and because obviously the grand finals played as a day nighter as well, and these other games, Division 2 and 3, hopefully a few of the boys hang around, and we get a good crowd out there to watch a good game of cricket.
Yeah, well, speaking of Division 2, East will take on Brothers. East ended up finishing second, as we said earlier in the show. I like East here. They've hit a bit of form. They've won a fair few of I think about 4 of their last 5 games, and they've got a pretty strong side in that Division 2 with
Rod Jensen
boys and Roddy Jensen and
Laurie
Warren
McCloskey.
So
Will Barrett as well. He's played a bit of Division 1 cricket this year as well.
The hot stepper, Hardy Richardson.
Although
he may be out. He's on the Dolphins bandwagon, Hardy, and he's got season tickets, and he's got tickets to watch the Dolphins at Redcliffe. So he may be out.
It's a sellout
at
Redcliffe.
So
But he's not on the bandwagon though. He got on them early. So
did he?
He's a passionate he'd nearly be season ticket holder number 1, I think, Artie. He got on very early, so...
Yeah, he did say that they were trying to convince him to stay and play, so I don't know. He hadn't decided when I was speaking to him yesterday.
Could be a big out.
Could be a big out, but I think, yeah. But don't write off brothers. They've got a few good young blokes there, and Nick Clark and...
Nick Clark's had a big year.
Dusty
Collins.
Dustin Collins. Toby Lamond
Toby.
will probably play
Yep.
Division 2.
Well, it depends, I suppose. The biggest thing here too is brothers obviously are in Division 1, 2 and 3 this weekend too. So obviously they're going to have a squad to pick from for this Division 1, and whoever obviously doesn't get picked in that side can drop down as well. So, you know, they may, depending on the makeup of their Division 1 side, you know, they might get someone back in that 2 setup as well. So it's, I think it'll be another good close game too, that one.
So that game starts at 12:15. In Division 3, we've got Across the Waves, top of the ladder, taking on Brothers, who finished 4th. I don't think this is going to be one-way traffic either.
No, it definitely won't be.
Neil Trebene's been in and around the runs. I think he ended up finishing 3rd on the leading runs for the season. Josh McGuinness and Andy Porter, 2 quite capable cricketers that could take a few wickets and tear a game apart in a hurry, but it's probably the strongest Waves team that's been on the paddock, I think, for just about most of the year. Yeah,
we had a massive squad to pick from. Nick Laffey, our captain, has done a really good job with the team this year and rotating a lot of people through and using a lot of juniors as well, and was able to pick a really strong squad for the weekend, and they're certainly taking nothing for granted. You know, obviously they sort of fell short last year, so it's they're going out for a bit of redemption this year, and like you said, that brother side's got a lot of experience in it, so another cracking game on Field 2.
Field 2. And the last game of the weekend, YMCA will take on East. That game will start at 1 o'clock, along with the other Division 3 semi.
On Field 4.
On Field 4.
Might suit us a
you can
little
nearly
bit.
go either way again.
You can.
Obviously, YMCA, Lex Webster, Brett Woodward, those guys, they'll be looking for big games. But if a couple of those East boys get going, they go hard. Well, they did not lose a game in the T10 stuff on the weekend.
Sort of suits their game, the T10 stuff. But East certainly play an exciting brand of cricket, and that Field 4 short boundary. I think there might have to be a big score posted. Whoever bats first, I think, has got to score a big score in that game to get the chockies. But YMCA pushed Waves all year for that minor premiership. They've been, the last couple of years, YMCA have probably been the benchmark in that grade, and Lex has had a fantastic year, topping the runs, and I think he topped the wicket, so he was close. It might have been close to it. And obviously Brett Woodward, he played against us on Saturday night there for East, and that East team, if they click though on the day, anything could happen. So another close one for the punters.
Should be 4 pretty good games of cricket, which you could make a case for any of those 8 sides to win or lose.
Let's hope the weather doesn't affect anything.
The weather might beat everybody, but it is on the improve, and it's looking better all the time. So, good luck, and if we get out there and have a look.
Best of luck to all teams playing this weekend.
All right, well, that about wraps us up. Thanks for coming in and stepping into David's shoes.
Yeah, no, thanks,
He
Bogey.
mightn't get the gig back.
Nah, he can have it.
No, he can have it back. He's done a great job.
He has. He has.
Good luck to Waves in the finals in the coming weeks.
Thank you. And
I'm sure there'll be a premiership or 2 to be celebrated, no matter what grade it would be. So, all right, that wraps it up. Get out and support your team. Until next week, bye for now.
Oh, what glory.